侍ジャパンの勝利の立役者の一人であるラーズ・ヌートバー選手。勝負強いバッティングとセンターでも華麗な守備を披露し勝利に大きく貢献しています。ハッスルプレーも魅力的でもうすっかり日本で人気者になりました。大谷選手が帰国してからの日本国内の熱狂と、ヌートバー選手の日本での人気ぶりについて取り上げられていました。
We are joined by somebody who stayed up late for us. Our Stephen Nelson, who's out there to call games in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome. Good evening, Stephen. I can't imagine the experience that you're having so far, and the event hasn't even begun. What I want to hear from you, though, is the scene at the Tokyo Dome. We had some footage of Shohei Ohtani's 2 homers in what was just a tune-up exhibition that looked to be sold out. It looked like Game 7 of the World Series over there for an exhibition game.
The entire country is turned up to a level you can only imagine, Maddie. I mean, look, being around Shohei as much as both of you guys have been over the past few years, you understand that he's basically become an Avenger. He's a superhero wherever he goes, but especially here in his home country, wearing the侍Japan jersey for the first time in a long time and playing baseball in Japan for the first time in 6 years. And so, I mean, even watching the exhibition games on television here, there's the action and then there's a 2-box picture-in-picture of Shohei, whatever he's doing, just breathing. Wow. They're just locked in on his every movement. His days of being a normal person are done, right? Just because that's the status he's ascended to in the world of sport, and he's earned every bit of that. But I think just the fact that people have had to commute from Tokyo to go to other cities, to Osaka, to Nagoya, to wherever, to get Samurai Japan jerseys and hats, it's all sold out here. So people are traveling hours, taking the Shinkansen, the bullet train, to wherever they can go to find any sort of memorabilia for this World Baseball Classic, just because there's so much hype and energy, not just around Shohei, but this entire roster for Samurai Japan, one of the favorites of the tournament, perhaps the most talented roster this country has ever had, and they've won the event twice, mind you. But their first game against China with him on the bump, and then, of course, Game 2, Japan-Korea, one of the great international rivalries ever. I mean, the roof's going to be blown off the Tokyo Dome for sure.
We had Lars Nootbaar on the other day as well. He may be a bigger celebrity. Tell us a couple stories with Lars and his fame over there.
So we had the workout a few hours ago, and there was only one group for Samurai Japan that took batting practice because, of course, they played a bunch of exhibition games, and Lars Nootbaar was in it, and so there was so much attention on him. He ended. The last swing of BP was him going like almost to the concourse in right field, and so that drew a lot of oohs and ahs. And so I was talking to him afterwards, and I was like, "Has the reaction to you being here been what you thought?" And he's like, "It has blown my expectations out of the water from the time he stepped off the plane." I mean, he was just saying how the other day he was just walking across the street in his shorts and his slippers, flip-flops, slides, whatever you want to call them, to go to 7-Eleven, the convenience store, just to like see what was there, get a couple snacks, and people just ambushed him as soon as he walked. And he had, he's wearing a mask, and again, not in uniform, but people already just know what he looks like. Lars Nootbaar, Tachan as he's called here because of his middle name. And so it's just been probably beyond a surreal experience for him, because he's just getting, I don't think that happens in St. Louis. I know that's best fans in baseball, but I don't think they're swarming him when he's walking to a gas station convenience store to pick up some trail mix, so that's just a part of his life now.
Hey, Stephen, do you speak a little Japanese, enough Japanese to get Tsukoshi, a little bit, enough to get by?
Maddie, Tsukoshi, yeah, Tsukoshi. I get really nervous and self-conscious because, I don't want to be disrespectful or say the wrong things. Like, I already sound like an idiot speaking English, so I can only imagine what it's like when I'm trying to speak my second language, which is very broken. Like, I went to Japanese school as a young kid, but we didn't speak in my house, so I've never really applied it throughout my life. So now it's just beyond broken. Like the other night, I was in a taxi, and I started a conversation with the driver, and it was the simplest question, like, how was your day? And I like tripped over a word, and then I tried to recover, and then I was just like, gomenasai, which is just apologize. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, gomenasai. Like, but this has been great for me. I have my whole family here. You know, my wife, our firstborn son, and my parents are all out here. So it has been.
Enjoyed the experience, and you know, I'm glad that cab driver story ended the way it did, because I thought you were going to say, and then he hit the brakes, opened the door, and kicked me out onto the street. Everything's fine, man. I think culturally, when you're around the world, if you make an effort, even if it's people broken, like yeah, people appreciate the effort. Except maybe in France, I think they don't.
Real quick, Steven, real quick, and we got to let you go. When I was in Japan playing over there, all the drivers had white gloves. I mean, it was pristine. Clean as can be. Do they still do that?
No, the driver was gloveless. The gloveless my driver in particular. But pristine, the country, because, and that's the culture, as you know, having experienced it here. There's such just a respect for your surroundings, your fellow humans, your city where you live. It's not, as we well know. But yes, to answer your question, no, I could see all the fingers of the driver, 2 hands on the wheel, safety, made it here safe.
Steven, we'll be watching, man. We'll be watching that first game when Japan, mercy rules whoever they play, because that is a juggernaut.
ヌートバー選手、2試合での成績は8打数4安打。出塁率6割3分6厘とリードオフマンとして申し分ない成績を残し、鉄壁の守備力でファインプレーを見せています。韓国戦でも背中に当たったデッドボールに対し、相手投手を睨みつけ闘志あふれるプレーを見せてくれています。ヒーローインタビューではデッドボールに対し、ちょうど凝っていたところだったのでほぐれてよかったと、センスのあるジョークも最高でした。これからも最高のバッティングと守備に加えハッスルプレーを期待します。